This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. Let's take a look at how we can identify stocks that are being held as institutional powerhouses. In other words, stocks that are able to maintain lofty prices over a period of many years. Now remember, we're talking about institutions, and institutions are hardly ever in a rush because they know the big money is made by holding. Now let me share with you one trick. Notice every time the RSI recaptures RSI 69.1 after a brief period below it, the movement back above 69.1 is in itself a buy signal. In other words, put another way, you can actually use this method to re-enter or to buy momentum instruments. Now, for an institution, this is a desirable move. You're talking about price move from the 20s, now at 210. And remember, institutions are never in a rush. So this is the type of moves they're looking for over a period of many years. Now, for those looking for a better entry where there's momentum, this movement back above 69.1 can be used for short-term swing trading lasting weeks and months. As we can see here with this entry back above RSI 69.1. And that entry was at about, let's call it 110, give or take. And stock has gone as high as 210, as we've already established, over about, let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4 months. So 4 months for almost a 90% doubling in price. So the movement back above 69.1 can be used as a gauge to understand, to anticipate continuation of the prior move after a very brief rest period. And also, you can also play the breakout game. Again, this is where the breakout game also comes, because you can time this on the way up. You can time this on the way up, understanding that not all breakouts are gonna be successful, but that's part of the game. As you can see here, there was a failed breakout here, but ultimately we had a fresh breakout right there. So not all breakouts will work, but at least you know you can always play the next breakout attempt. Let's take a look at one more, and this is Shopify. Again, from an institutional standpoint, and we're not talking from a retail trader standpoint, any institution would have been glad to own this, trading at 100 in 2018. Currently the highs here is around 1150, 1150. That's a 1000% gain in about under 3 years. Now if you go to what I'm saying here is, take a look at every time this instrument captures the RSI 69.1 as a single individual method. So let's say that's the method we're using, RSI 69.1 movement initially here, bounce back above RSI 69.1, bounce back above RSI 69.1. There's also a brief period here. All this can be considered as entry points because of holding above the RSI 69.1. Now keep in mind this number here. There are going to be links in the description explaining why I get this number, but this number is in essence a variation of the 61.8 constant. So in brief, one way we can tell visually quickly that institutions are holding on to an instrument is whether or not it is spending months upon months upon months trading above RSI 69.1. So we can see here as a quick gauge, you can just take a look and see, okay, this instrument is a favorite for momentum institutions. Why? The RSI has been holding above this critical level of 69.1, and even the previous peak, you can see it has spent years essentially trading above RSI 69.1, and that's how you know that institutions are holding on even with slight dips. Somehow they understand that there is more upside. And it also means, by the way, that's another final observation, that should these instruments break out again and they hold, let's say if the breakout is successful again, it is and would be giving a fresh signal if the breakout holds above the prior monthly closing high. If you take a look at Shopify, if the monthly breakout currently taking place, if it can hold, then that's also a legitimate fresh breakout. Obviously, if the price breakout fails, that can be looked upon as being a red flag. This is Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. Love and light, light and love. Namaste.